Welcome back in. There are 4 people running against each other for a chance to run against Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur in one of the most hotly contested House seats in the country. One of them is Josh Williams, who is here with us this afternoon. And Josh, you declared on Monday with the big rally. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first of all, Marcy Kaptur's been in office. Well, she was elected at 82, a long time ago. You weren't even born yet.
No, she's been in office longer than I've been alive. And it's interesting, we declared on Monday at a great rally here in Toledo with tremendous support. We believe the voters of Lucas County and Northwest Ohio, they want a candidate, they want elected officials that they can respect and they can understand what they went through, what they overcame. They want to be able to identify with the candidate, with the elected official. They want to make sure that individual understands what they're going through and can help them overcome those issues and, chase the American dream. And that's the type of candidate I am. I mean, I grew up poor in the inner city here in Toledo, raised by a single mother. I dropped out of high school when I was 18, when I was homeless, slept on park benches, got hurt on the job and was disabled for a very long time. And I overcame that. I enrolled at the University of Toledo at the age of 30, and in just 5 years, I graduated from law school. I became a practicing attorney, a college professor teaching constitutional law. I went on to be a state representative and now a member of leadership in the Ohio House of Representatives, where I serve as the first black majority whip in Ohio's history. And I declare my candidacy to finally retire Marcy Kaptur.
What makes you want to go from the state stage after, well, you're in your second term to already jumping ahead to the national stage?
Yeah, we've seen how successful we've been in approaching our agenda, and it aligns with the Trump agenda when it comes towards workforce development, securing our communities, providing for safety and security from gun violence here in Northwest Ohio. We have one of the most impactful bills that is pending right now in front of the legislature. Toughest penalties on gun crimes in over 30 years here in the state of Ohio. That's HB 5, the Repeat Offenders Act. And we believe there's more to do at the national level. I want to create programs that help people overcome adversity like I did so they can chase the American dream.
I was at your rally on Monday night in South Toledo, and over 100 people were there. Very enthusiastic crowd. Yeah. Interesting, too, the mix of race. It was a blend of white and black, really a nice cross-section of Toledo. That's very refreshing to see.
And that's what we need from a Republican candidate here in Northwest Ohio. We've seen before, Marcy Kaptur will build up a very big lead in the inner city of Toledo, and then our candidates can't overcome it. I have more family members that live in Toledo than the margin we lost by in the last election cycle. We get not only bipartisan support, but from all races. They see themselves in the mirror when they look at me and the struggles that I overcame. They know that they have a candidate that can understand what they're going through and provide solutions because my track record shows that. And yeah, we even had a couple protesters. It showed how scared the Democrat
let's show the video.
Party is.
We have the video. We were there and got the protesters. 5 separate times your speech was interrupted by people. They were taken out. Then another one would protest, and I did talk to them afterward, and they were there was some things, some of your votes that you had in the State House, they were protesting too. Yeah, you have a right to free speech in the country, so they exercise their rights.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they want to make their grievances heard, but I thought it was very interesting that the Democrat Party is so scared of my candidacy that they want to interrupt my announcement, but they were more than welcome to be there. We saw them when they came in. We didn't deny them there until they caused disruptions. And we've been tried to approach them outside and have a conversation, and they weren't interested in talking. We're prepared to take our messaging statewide, nationwide. We believe that we're a great candidate for this district, and we know we can win the Ohio Congressional 9th.
If you win the primary and take on Marcy Kaptur, will it be more in terms of how Trump is doing at the time and his support, how important it will be, or will it be how much you stand out on your own versus a Marcy Kaptur?
Well, I think Trump's support is very important, especially in a Republican primary. We want to make sure that the voters that selected Donald Trump as the 47th president overwhelmingly won the popular vote here in the United States. They supported his agenda, so we have to make sure that we bring that agenda to the statewide. But at the same time, I need to distinguish myself from Marcy Kaptur. She's been in office longer than I've been alive and accomplished nothing. And in just 3 years in the state legislature, I'm the highest ranking Republican when it comes to the number of bills introduced and sponsored. And we've moved mountains of legislation out of my office. I have 45 pending pieces of legislation just right now.
The big stage is a whole different animal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I'm cut out for it, man. I was raised to be a fighter. We overcame tremendous odds. When I was a kid, you really didn't have the chance to dream of a better tomorrow because you were struggling just to overcome the struggles that you had that day. But my mom raised me as a fighter, and I fought to overcome adversity. I fought to overcome homelessness and being disabled, and even the government stepping in my way when I tried to dig myself out of poverty. I fought that and got to college and changed my life. And Northwest Ohio deserves a fighter.
Fundraising, will that be difficult, you think, given that the Republican base is going to be fractured between 4 different candidates?
Yeah, I mean, we've already started fundraising. We're starting to have a great week already. We have commitments. We already have 4 fundraisers scheduled just in the month of July across the district. We're getting a great response from voters and supporters. We believe fundraising won't be an issue for us. I mean, in the last election cycle, we've continued to fundraise since then. We were able to fundraise in our statewide races. But, this is a different ball game, and we're getting reception not only within Northwest Ohio, but nationwide.
Josh, thanks so much for coming in. Josh Williams is going to be running for the Republican ticket to go up against Marcy Kaptur next year. So May 5th is the primary in Ohio. So we'll be talking to you a lot between now and then. Thanks so much for being here today.